Friday. Not my words, the words of Robinson Crusoe. Cultaholic Wrestling News. There's Tom and there's an Adam Pacitti. There he is.
Oh, what?
There's his face. All
Give
right,
me an all white. Come
all
on.
Right,
all white at the back. All white.
All white, all black, all blue, all white, all white, all white, all white. Oh, great days. Here's your wrestling news. A huge New Japan Pro Wrestling star is making their Impact debut. A former WWE star returns in an unexpected role, and Adam Pearce's WWE role has changed. We'll talk about that in a bit. Impact Wrestling last night, quite a few noteworthy things went down with those lads, but one of them is certainly going to put eyes on the product next week. A huge debut is taking place in 7 days, isn't it, Adam?
It certainly is. It's none other than El Phantasmo. Big debut. A very, very talented wrestler. Obviously a member of Bullet Club. Going to be, for sure putting eyes on the product. I really, really enjoy El Phantasmo's in-ring work. I think he's great. I think he's worked in the past really well as a babyface. I think he's worked really well as a heel. So it'd be interesting to see what he's going to be doing. They haven't announced any specifics there yet.
Incredibly decorated star is El Phantasmo, former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Champion, former Rev Pro Cruiserweight Champion, back-to-back wins in the Super J Cup. I think he's going to be a great fit, and it just shows how that forbidden door has now become a swinging door between Impact and New Japan Pro Wrestling, because Finn Juice is part of the product now. They're going to be headlining their next Impact Plus show, Under Siege. Any New Japan stars you'd love to see come in and mix it up in Impact after El Phantasmo, Lord Pacitti?
Ishii, just batter everyone. For sure. I mean, I'd love to see Jay White over. I think that would be really cool. But I don't know. I think these are going to start trickling in more and more so over the coming months. This announcement sort of seemingly came from nowhere. It wasn't like hyped up or anything. It was just like, hey, we got another one. He's coming over. Any for you, Tom?
I would love. I think Ishii was the one I was going to shout up to you. But the thing is, they've teased. They've teased quite a few names over here. I would love to see Naito rock up. I know that's really far-fetched. I'd love to see Naito rock up. I think that would be really good fun. I think I can see him. But you know what? There's a plethora. Do you know what? Kenta. Get Kenta over there. I think Kenta would be a nice fit there as well. And also, Okada, I feel like, has some wrongs to right.
Quite a big one. Quite a big one there. You want to see Okada? Yeah, all right, yeah.
Well, think about it, because he's got some rights to wrong and some wrongs to right in TNA. That run he had where he was basically a weird sidekick. Come back and do that again. Just for the banter.
Yeah, that's the way to use it.
Samoa Joe's knocking around. They were mates.
I want to see Taguchi. I'm up for a bit of Taguchi.
Some stunning names there. And you know what? Impact have the names. They keep on coming. They made it official yesterday that w.morrissey, the artist formerly known as Big Cass, is now part of the company. Fightful inquired with Impact about the status of Morrissey. He wrestled on the show last night, and the way that Impact tend to tape is they'll do 6 or 7 weeks on the bounce. So if he was there the one night, you have a funny feeling he's going to be around for a while. And consequently, Fightful heard back from Impact, who said he has signed and will be around for the foreseeable future. He looks stunned. He is stunning. He is a stud.
He is
Morrissey, isn't he?
I couldn't agree more. I think it's great. The wording's interesting there, the foreseeable future thing. Tom, what are you drinking?
What do you mean?
It's 9:42 in the morning. What are you drinking? Sorry, wrestling news fans.
How long is Morrissey part of the company for?
For the foreseeable future.
So it's not
necessarily a long-term deal, but I'm really, really excited to see what he ends up doing in Impact, because the guy is he's just worked on himself so hard. We've been talking about this quite a lot recently, but honestly, I'm really, really behind Big Cass. Sorry, w.morrissey. Looking forward to seeing what he does next. Not the only former WWE guy now on the books for Impact Wrestling. This brought a smile to my chops this morning. This really did. Oleg Prudius. What a name. I love that. Why they changed it, I don't know. I agree. You may remember him from such roles as Vladimir Kozlov in WWE. Well, he is back on the books for Impact. What's he doing in Impact? What's Vladimir Kozlov doing in the Impact Zone, Maggle? He's wrestling Big Cass. He's not, unfortunately. He's doing lead commentary for Impact Wrestling in Russia. So it's broadcast on the site RuTube, or is that RuTube?
RuTube. It's
sense,
a Rusev exclusive digital platform.
And I'll just quickly read the press release here. Ex-world champion, the Moscow Mauler, Oleg Prudius, wrestler, former WWE promotion champion, actor, will exclusively commentate on all of the matches. He performed at WWE from 2006 to 2011, and he's also been in Wolf Warrior 2, John Wick 2, Fast and Furious, Grindhouse, and The Punisher. That's not a bad array of films there, is it? I didn't know he'd done that many. That's cool.
Totally forgot that he was in Fast and Furious.
Right. There you
I'd
go.
have made him the focus of the whole thing. But yeah, so he's now lead commentator for Impact in Russia. Excellent work.
Flash up the new picture of him, Owen. Look at what he looks like now. Isn't that mental?
There he is in his lesser-known role as a non-playable character in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Absolutely brilliant. We had the Hall of Fame just a few weeks back. Molly Holly was one of those inducted into the Hall of Fame, but she's been talking about the process of it to Busted Open Radio. And I'm a little bit gutted to read what she was talking about, Adam.
Yeah, apparently one of the nicest women in the business, and she has been cut deep by this. Apparently her Hall of Fame speech had been cut from 15 minutes. Oh, I hate you. 15 minutes down to 2 minutes at the last minute. She said it was awesome that Hurricane Helms was the one to tell me I was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The fact that he legitimately, for real, got choked up and was super proud of me, that was really special. I loved that moment. Behind the scenes after that, I was told that I'd have about 15 minutes to give a speech. So I spent a lot of time and had 3 friends of mine that are professional writers to help me. I practiced it for 60 hours. I have a regular 9-to-5 job, and after work every day, I would practice it while I was going for a walk. I work really hard. This is heartbreaking,
I
Tom.
know. Devastating.
Then a couple of days before, oh, never mind, you actually have 2 minutes to give your speech. I cried for like 4 hours. A lot of the times when I used to wrestle, they would tell us, you have 12 minutes to wrestle, and then right before we walk out, they'd be like, no, you have 4 minutes. But we were ready to tell a story of good versus evil and give the fans their money's worth. Now it's just entrances, 2 moves, and the match. It would be such a heartbreak, and obviously comparing that to what happened here. I read a really interesting thing about Molly Holly, right? Guess how many times she spoke to Vince? More than a hello. How many conversations?
Once.
Yeah, correct. When she asked for her release. Yeah, she had one conversation with Vince McMahon, before, and the last one was her asking for, the only one, sorry, was asking for her release. Isn't that nuts?
I mean, I get it. I mean, like, if you worked at McDonald's, Malcolm from Halifax branch isn't going to chat to Mayor McCheesy on the regular.
But she was there for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And that I find that nuts. I know Vince is become harder and harder to get to in recent years, as far as like you got to book meetings with him and all that. So you can't just walk into his office. But given the amount of time that she was there, and she was a really featured performer at various stages in her career as well. Bit of a
Very
shocker.
surprising, very surprising. We got some news on Road Dogg, some great news to report on Road Dogg today. So it was just about a month or so ago, it was reported that he'd suffered what looked to be a heart attack. An update from PW Insider this morning that says Brian Road Dogg James back working in person at this week's NXT for the first time since suffering an apparent heart attack last month. This is lovely news. Nice.
It is lovely news. Yeah, I've got nothing to add to that. It's just great. I hope he continues his recovery and cracks on with everything. Good lad.
And the backstage news continues. Adam Pearce, we mentioned him a couple of days ago that there was a new role for him which hadn't been revealed yet. That role has now been revealed, hasn't it, Adam?
PW Insider reporting that in recent weeks, Adam Pearce has moved up in terms of responsibilities behind the scenes, and it's been confirmed that he is now the director of live events. So in the past, that role has usually meant overseeing live events. So it's another sign that WWE is preparing for their return to the road. There's been big backstage shakeups. Mr. Khan playing into this, I believe, and who knows how this will impact his on-screen responsibilities? Hopefully not much, because I quite enjoy him in that role. But it's certainly a more senior position that he was holding. So it'll be interesting to see.
How do we feel about getting back to live shows? I think and obviously we can't never run live shows ever again. But are you excited about it? Are you trepidatious about it?
Obviously, I think they need to be very, very cautious and responsible with what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, when the time is right, I'm looking forward to reading house show reports and finding out who beat Dolph Ziggler and in front of 4,000 people.
I'm looking forward to a UK show where you can get blind drunk in the front row and cheer on Rey Mysterio. Like the good old days.
Or Tyson Fury, perhaps.
Yes.
You know what? No, I'm really... Obviously, WrestleMania was nice just seeing a live crowd and hearing a live crowd there again rather than the recorded music and the crowd noises being put in music. You know what I mean? It makes all the difference, doesn't it? I think one of the reasons that people are a little bit down and the interest in wrestling is down generally at the moment is because of the lack of a live crowd. It's integral to the product, really.
And a live crowd is something that's been missing from wrestling for a while, and we'll get back to it very soon. But by the time we're back in front of a live crowd, the UK version of WWE could look very different. So we've been watching the migration, the slow fall over migration of WWE Network to Peacock in the US. And I did warn you here in the UK, hold your guffaws, hold your lulls and points because it's coming our way. And there's certainly an indication that could be the case very, very soon. Right, Adam?
Perhaps. BT Group issuing a statement saying, further to media reports, BT can confirm that early discussions are being held with a number of select strategic partners to explore ways to generate investment, strengthen our sports business and help to take it to the next stage in its growth. The discussions are confidential and may or may not lead to an outcome. So a bit of a vague, very, very corporate statement there, but it looks like they might be selling off various assets. I'd be a bit sad about this if WWE were to leave BT Sport, because it was on Sky for so long, and Sky never actually seemed to give a toss. And BT Sport, not just with their social media, but they actually seem really proud to have WWE on their books, and they're doing all sorts of promotion, and Sky just never did that. They never cared. So it's nice to have somebody carrying WWE who gives two you-know-whats.
In terms of where they could go, so the Telegraph are reporting that there's a few people interested in buying some stake in BT Sport. An unnamed British broadcaster. I'm optimistic that it could be UK Home and Gardens. That would be nice. DAZN, Amazon, or Disney. Now, surely for WWE as on a business level, surely Disney's the option there.
I do. I hope they go to Disney and then water down the products loads, like PG plus products. No, remember Saturday Morning Slam where they weren't allowed to hit each other in the head or do any proper wrestling moves? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Oh, what? Hey, the best times are yet to come with Disney Plus hosting WWE Hell in a Cell. What a treat that's gonna be.
What's in your drink, Tom? I need to know. I just see. What is it?
It's my happy juice.
Dirty.
Stay safe. It's squash. Love you, bye. I'm not an alcoholic.